I started sometime in mid-90s, I'll tell you how. There was an interesting story. I was associated with a particular newspaper, print media. That media was not, its circulation of business-wise was not getting the more numbers. It was getting competition from the TV, the electronic media and others. So when the editorial team or the management thought, how to improve, this is from Calcutta, and what is the favorite sport of Calcutta was football. Now in cricket, they know Saurav Ganguly had scored 22 centuries, everything this was coming out. So this gentleman told, my managing director told me, why don't we start a column on every football match to give value addition by giving the numbers, say any important goal has been scored, which is the number of goals a particular team has scored, number of goals particular players have scored. So bring in the value addition, because people are getting first of all they are getting used to seeing the match on television and then reading the report. To give some value addition as to which is the number of victory. This became very important with the rivalry of the famous rivalry of Calcutta Derby, East Bengal and Mohun. So who will won more, which are the highest margin of victories, and these were all taken up. That time, I'm talking about late 90s, the social media was not that effective, but in the print media, it would come out. And that would create a lot of interest among the rival spectators. So we have beaten you so many times. So we have so many times. Recently, or of late, the numbers or the statistics have become extremely important in football, also that too in Indian football. If one scores goals, his performance has to be evaluated as to the number of goals he scored, and then possibly the person scoring the maximum number of goals is awarded the golden boot. The second person gets the silver boot, and the third one the bronze boot. Similarly, for a goalkeeper, defense, who keeps the maximum number of clean sheets, gets the golden glove. Now, another important aspect has come, the assists. Of late, who has made the pass or who has provided the movement for the goal to be scored, and a number of persons who gave the most assists also become a very important statistic in the football thing. Now, when we have a match, there are various aspects to it which are kept by the analysts. Like if a particular team is conceding, it's found in the last 5 matches have conceded goals in the last 15 minutes. The matter has to be taken up by the technical committee and the coach to see what is the problem of defense in the last 15 minutes, whether they are running out of stamina or whether there's a defensive formation has to be changed or something like that. Similarly, the head-to-head results or head-to-head before a match gives some sort of an idea as to what is the strengths and weaknesses of both the teams. But sometimes these head-to-head figures may be very historical, and so concentration should be done much more on the latest matches. Women's football started in the 90s. Men's football long back, say from 1948. All the records, I think, go to be women. I think how many they knew, I do not know. Shashmita Malik holds the record of scoring maximum number of goals in an international match, 7 goals in Bhutan. While in men's football, the highest is by Gurdev Singh, who scored 4 goals in a match in a tournament in Bangladesh. And the rest all are hat-tricks. Similarly, the highest margin of victory also goes to the Indian women's football team. They beat Bhutan 18-0, while the men's team won 7-0. So these are a lot of unusual statistics. Then it came, who scored the first hat-trick for India? Everybody nowadays knows that Sunil Chhetri is scoring so many goals, so many hat-tricks, so many this thing. But one unknown or unsung player, as I would say, Appalaraju came to score a hat-trick on his debut. Then another person called Damodar, he has the unique record of scoring. He played 4 times in India, and all the 4 matches he scored for India. Others have scored in their first 3 matches, 2 matches. But Damodar holds the record of scoring in all 4 matches. Then other things also came out, the maximum time, the maximum winning streak of India, it was in 62 onwards. And the losing streak, this was just before the 2011 AFC Asian Cup. Similarly, now of course, the numbers have become so much important that even the players, the past players, have got an opportunity to serve in the association, on the basis of the number of matches they have played. The four were selected by the federation, by the president, on the basis of the number of matches they have played. And at present, I think the AIFF is working a lot on the statistics and the data on the social media, on the for important, which is a remarkable improvement to bring back the popularity of the game. Because nowadays everybody is stuck with foreign football and foreign TV, but then that is also happening now in Indian football. Oh, it is extremely necessary to keep the historical facts. Nowadays, there is no documentation, no data on any game or any tournament. Say Kalinga Cup, say Stafford Cup. There should be proper documentation. Which teams won, who were the players, who scored the goals, who came up. Nagji. So many tournaments, Bordoloi in the Northeast. Not only Calcutta Football and Rovers Cup and Durand Cup. Even the Rovers Cup tournaments, what are the milestones achieved? In Durand Cup, of course, a lot of milestones have been achieved. IFA Shield. IFA Shield historically was 1909, then what happened after that? Statistics is extremely, our numbers are extremely important for every aspect of the growth of Indian football, whether it's the national team or whether it's the men or women and club.
Now, importance of building database in Indian football, like statistics also.
Yeah, this database now can be done in web. Like India has got 560 players who have played for the international team. I think now 563, 3 more played in the last. This has to be kept in the All India Football Federation website or in some form somewhere. The website will be accessible to all or in some form. Not only in all particular point of time, like the players, and even if possible, the matches and the match reports from all matches played by India from 48, as far as possible, to be kept in some archive or something like that for reference. This will then players like Appalaraju, Damodaran, or even somebody called Marco Gratius who scored a hat-trick. Their names will come up that they were football players of very important this time.
So how to take this forward, like you said that?
Yeah, I think the media team is doing a very good job. They will have to collate all these data once in a while and get it and put it up in the web or in some form.
So lastly, your experience in all these years of collecting data and stuff.
See, football is my passion, not my profession. My profession is something totally different. So I actually, passion started well since I played football even at the school level, Subrata Cup and whatever, in the 60s. I've been following not only the Indian football, but even the club level football, as football used to be a very popular game those days. Despite Indian profile was not bad, it was quite good. It reached the semi-finals of the Olympics and won the gold medal in the Asian Games. And even the 60s, the Calcutta Maidan would roar. There was no television, but people would queue up to see a football match of East Bengal or Mohun or Norman Sporting 2 days in advance, keep moving, and buy the tickets and get it. Similarly, when the television came and the football shifted somewhere else to Lake Stadium, Salt Lake Stadium, and the football was also important in other states also, other regions, but not that much. One very interesting from statistics has come out. In that golden period of 55 to 62 or 63 or maybe 64, Indian team had 4 or 5 players from South India. They may be representing Bengal, but 4 or 5 South Indians who could play the short passing game and dribbling art. This means that football was very popular in South India, also in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and those places. And they generated from them. Of course, they had to play the big guys in Calcutta, so they came to Calcutta and represented them, Habib, Naeem, all everyone. This is an indication. And after 83 cricket domination, 83 winning that Prudential Cup, these Hyderabad, Bangalore all had their local leagues. They were all stopped. I think maybe because of people not coming, no sponsorship. The money went to cricket. But that has gradually again been revived after that 90s era of Vijay and Vijay, Bhaijun Bhutia and Chennai. So it will come up again. India is now under 101. 94 is the best they have got. They may even cross that. And football will become popular with age group games. There are a lot of tournaments which used to produce players like Kolingo Cup, I mentioned Stafford Cup, Nizam Gold Cup, Nagji, Bordelais Trophy. Should be restarted from the district level, new more football players will come. And of course, the Rovers Cup should be restarted again. There used to be a story in the 70s when an old gentleman would come to the match to watch East Bengal or a Mohammedan match. This is a East Bengal fan. He was coming to East Bengal match, and those days East Bengal was scoring a lot of goals early, but in some matches they would get stuck in those 70-minute games. So he would start smoking cigarettes and finish one after the other until the goal was scored. Like this, once it even happened that the gentleman came in a match 20 minutes late. Then he was asked already, why were you late today? He said, my son died, I had to do the cremation and then come. But he didn't miss a match. Similarly, as the very important East Bengal Pass Club match, the goal was scored. There was, and that particular, the team's supporters celebrated it by burning torches, which became a symbol for any Indian victory since then. In any game, lighting up torches. Now it's done through mobile, earlier newspapers and then this.